If you have questions about this, I'm afraid you will have to wait until the end of the video, or you can skip ahead, your choice. Have you already made your New Year resolutions, goals, promises, grand plans? Did being kind to your inner child make the list? I didn't, mostly because I didn't make any resolutions yet. But several very wise people have suggested, including Carl Sagan, that to understand the present, you need to look at the past. So today I'm looking back at my YouTube crafts and giving my honest opinion, what worked, what didn't turn out that great, and what I would do differently. Sounds reasonable? Let's see. Simple, straight, excellent. I wouldn't be able to make anything without it. And the big plus, that is basically an adult Lego, so you can choose what kind of colors, maybe 2-tier is more suitable for you and your space. I went for 3-tier because I have quite big workshop, so that suited me more. And you can choose the distance between 2 units, so you can play around it, and that's great. The casters work perfectly. I move it around when needed and lock them for stability. Very glad that I made it, but possibly not one-person job though. I like ladder shelves as a concept. They're visually lightweight and less boxy, squarey as regular shelves. And of course it all depends. Why do you need them? Where do you need to put them? And for what purpose? That said, I already had something functionally similar, so it was basically about aesthetics. Would I prefer visible wood grain over paint? Oh yes. Maybe not that much. I also prefer detail over flat surfaces, and even a small detail can add depth and intention and overall coziness. So I carved oak leaves. Would I like to carve more on them? Yeah, probably. Especially on the front legs, that would be nice. But projects like this that take too long require pauses for me during to my health and energy levels. So 6 out of 10. Oh yes, my great pronunciation incident. One of many, but very memorable. I really enjoyed making this wreath and finding a purpose for my overgrowing ivy in the garden. The moss could have been fluffier, more mossy. You know, like a real moss. It lived on my door all summer, and even though wreaths on doors during the summer is not very traditional, I think it went rather nicely. Yeah, paint your ceiling. Stop settling for white, boring surfaces above your head. You deserve better. I didn't do much there, if I'm honest. It's mainly needed a finish, again by design, because Ikea didn't paint it, it just leaves the bare wood. And I didn't cover it because I wanted it to match Anton's bed frame. I also slightly misjudged the stain color. It turned out a little bit paler than the bed. I should be so careful with the stain. I'm not even sure that Anton uses it, but he asked for it. Yes, yes, and yes! Handmade paper instantly raises the level of intention in a note or greeting card. It does have flaws. It absorbs ink enthusiastically. It rips quite easily when you're embroidering with something thicker than the thread, for example, like ribbon. And also it scratches when you use quill for writing. But I already have some ideas how to improve it, so more experience ahead. Buying a present doesn't mean that you can't leave a mark on it. In my case, I literally carved my mark, and I was quite happy to show my gratitude that way. Not my first Morris dance. I've customized my clothes long before this video, and I definitely will continue. Pro tip: read the instructions, follow them, you will be fine. The Walnut bookmark lives quite happily with its owner, doing what bookmarks should do, separating known from unknown. I'm really glad that I overcome my deep dislike for friendship bracelets. I'm even mildly interested in other braiding techniques. Growth. The fact that this divider appears in nearly almost every video after I made it, I think says enough. I can't fully judge its installation properties anymore because we installed boiler and connect to heating system here in the workshop, but it's certainly very pleasing to look at. And it hides things that's supposed not to be seen. Sometimes it's clutter, sometimes it's me. Yes, you can absolutely dye your shoes, as long as they start lighter. I dyed my new brogues and I was surprised how easy and quick it was. Would recommend. I didn't expect my spooky sentinel to get so much attention from my neighbors and passerbys, and that made me happy. The masks too, even though it might have not been so obvious that it's handmade, then bought, but it caught some interest. For me, the mask was mostly about discovering papier-mâché. I've never used that before, but learning what it can do, I'm looking forward to use it again. Back to customizing clothes again. I'm glad that even in the age of ultra-fast fashion, we still can kind of back off from it and slow down and make our clothes truly our own, even without sewing from scratch, which usually is pretty expensive. I can't imagine this jacket without the patches now. And the lining? Functionally speaking, it does work. This winter hasn't been as cold as previous one, but I don't remember turning the extra heating up. Well, maybe difference isn't that dramatic, but there is definitely less chill coming from that wall. What I don't like is the lack of the border. I hid these loose threads behind and now it looks kind of unfinished. I might revisit this one and zhuzh it up a bit. Fast, easy, warm, intentional. Perfect for family and friends crafting activity, no downsides. I'll admit it was absolutely hedonistic project. And why not to spoil yourself a little bit on Christmas? I was shining. Absolutely worth it. Sometimes it's hard to remember what you actually achieved. I keep forgetting the things that I made or changed. Well, at least I remember what I can do and cannot. That helps. I think this kind of reflection is healing. Sitting down, looking back, acknowledging what you've done. And now I have footage to shove under my inner critic's nose. Speaking of footage, it seems my channel started to recover from its invisibility glitch. Still feels like a loss, but there is hope. You're doing great. Cheers! Look there? Okay. I can't fully judge the visible wood paint. Have you already made your